Hey folks, welcome to McFarland's Corner. I'm Michael McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide. I'm going to give you a rundown for Saturday, September 6th. It's Labor Day weekend. So I gave you a little bit of a rundown yesterday. If you saw it, you knew that I had about 6 days off and we had 5 of them rain. The lake came up 3 inches. Rising water rises fish. In Northeast Texas, I think just about every homeowner owns a pond. We had probably 5 inches of rain or more in those 3 or 4 days, and I really had made the presumption that the lake would come up a lot more than 3 inches. Remember, I'd say it again, rising water rises fish. Okay, well, as of today, we're already dropping. So in Northeast Texas, the ground, first of all, was really, really dry, and everybody seems to have a pond. So when we do start to rain heavy, lakes are low, ground's dry, ponds are dry. The first thing that has to happen is the ground and the ponds have to fill up before Lake Fork fills up. Normally 5 inches of water would have filled this sucker all the way up. That was my presumption. I thought we had enough rain to fill it up. We didn't. Yesterday 401.64, today 401.63. Rising water rises fish, falling water points them out. You've already had a tremendous amount of change in the lake. The fresh water is awesome. The color is great. We were starting to kind of brown. We're back to a beautiful color of water. Love it. It's almost what I call gunmetal blue already, which is weird. This time of year, we usually have brown, yucky water. It was an awful lot of rain. Lake looks super good for water clarity. Probably only 1 foot of visibility, but it's clean. 82 degrees this morning, 83 when we finished at the end of the full day. Water temperature didn't cool down as much as I thought it would as well. And it's already back on the rise. Almost about when we left you. When I left you last, 84 and 85. That was a week ago today. So we have cool trended a little bit, and we've raised from where we were a week ago today, 401.34. All right? That's the lake conditions. Now, I had made a prediction yesterday that most of those fish, the shad specifically, should have and potentially migrated into the backs. They should have pulled up out of the deep waters, and they didn't. So the first thing I did is I started out this morning throwing frogs. We threw popping and walking frogs, and we threw buzz frogs. We had 4, maybe 5 blowups, and we missed them all. They weren't big fish. Well, they were decent fish, but they weren't big ones, and they came on the popping frog, okay? Popping frog being walked in place. Here's a real cool tip for you. If you don't know how to walk one in place, you're probably going to need some hands-on instruction. If you do know how to walk one already and you want to make it a little easier on yourself, trim one side of the leg a little shorter than the other. And believe it or not, that actually helps it. It helps it spin in place. But basically, the frog bite was not near what I expected it. Okay, rising water rises fish, falling water pulls them back out. They're already kind of pulling back out. So I didn't get the frog bite like I thought. I didn't see the shad migrating to the backs. In fact, I saw the shad rise in the water column, and they're literally at the surface where they won't let the boat go over the top of them. You almost have to side scan to see the bait. The bait is at the surface. I did see schooling fish. I did see an occasional random surface blow up, but it was so random and so sporadic that you couldn't pattern it. You just couldn't. So about 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I abandoned my search. I thought the lake was going to be a whole lot different. Hindsight, I wish I would have just stayed with the pattern that I was on, the summer pattern, the shell beds with the shaky heads and the big jigs. Because about 9 o'clock, when we went to the shell bed, it was when we started to catch a fish or 2. And that's really all we caught. 2. Tough day. They both came on the football jig, Santon football jig. Things are a little different because of the rain and the cool trend. It was very small and very minor. And I do believe we're in for some more change. This next week I fish 4 days, Wednesday through Saturday. And it looks like the highs are going to be upper 70s with some lows being mid to low 50s. That's a dramatic change. Couple of days of that, and my prediction will come true. The bait will migrate shallow, and I'm sure it probably is in some places. It's a very big lake, and I just didn't cover it all, couldn't cover it all today. Next week's cool trend, 55 lows, 77 highs. It ought to bring us down into the 70s, upper 70s, 76, 78 degrees, and you will see the shad really make a big migrate up into Birch Creek, up into any one of the major creeks, Lake Fork Creek, Oil Well Bay, Running Creek, Coffee Creek. They'll migrate up those creeks. They'll go back in the small drains, ditches and drains as well, up Mustang Creek, Little Mustang Creek, Williams. The back of Williams could be an awesome frog bite in the next couple of weeks. But anyways, that's kind of the gist of what's going on. It was a really, really tough day fishing. I had two great gentlemen, Bob and his friend, I believe Kenneth. They fished their butts off. They really did. Just didn't get the bites. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support. I love the comments, and I absolutely love the likes. Thank you for that. If you're enjoying this, please remember to do that for me. Comments and thumbs up are really good. I appreciate it. If you haven't found me on Facebook, find my business page, The Lake Fork Adventures Guide Service. Please find that, like that page. Other than that, remember, I'm going to try my best over the next 4 or 5 months to give you as much reports as I can, but I only fish about 50% of the time. So I'm only going to be fishing 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week instead of 6 days a week. But I will bring you some kind of weekly report, especially those of you coming out on the weekends that want to know what's going on Lake Fork. This is Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide, giving you a little Lake Fork rundown. Thanks for watching.